A new report from Microsoft warns that Iran, China, Russia all working to influence the election. According to this report, Jonathan, the Chinese government-linked campaign known as Spamouflage is focused on down-ballot races, targeting Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman Barry Moore, Michael McCaul, who, of course, is the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. They're all up for re-election next month. The CCP is also attacking Florida Senator Marco Rubio, who's not up for re-election, but he's been a critic of Beijing, Jonathan. And now we see how America feels about China as well. Your reaction?
Well, sure. I mean, I think this is all coming to a head, Maria. I mean, we're in the moment now where, some of our top national security leaders, including a former head of Indo-Pacific Command, have told us that by 2027, the PRC is going to be ready and prepared to use force in the Pacific to potentially go after Taiwan. And so we're in that window. I mean, this is finally coming to a head. The clock really has run out at this time to continue to admire the problem. And the CCP is pushing forward on every front. I mean, you mentioned the political warfare report that came out of the House. I mean, that's very important, the way they define it as a war without weapons. Yes, they're pushing across every front there. I mean, fronts we don't even think of as elements of warfare. But then they're also executing a giant military buildup. And I think we're coming into that moment where we either figure out how to handle this. And by the way, the American people do get the problem. I mean, that's something that I've been asked all the time over the years. Why don't the American people understand this? Where's Main Street? It's not Main Street's problem. I mean, you can see these polls. It gets worse and worse every year. People understand this. What we don't have is leadership on strategy and policy in Washington or from our business elites. I mean, that's what you're going to need to do to start to really shift the game. And we need decision-making on real strategy to start taking on this problem. And I think also in these polls, we've seen some interesting developments, such as a majority of Americans now think that the U.S. should actively work to constrain the rise of China's power. I mean, that's exactly right. The people get the problem, and the people get that we have to shut them down and prevent them from surpassing us. So let's get busy doing that. There's a whole lot we can do, as I've talked about with you over the years.